Well, obviously we were no match for Gonzaga. I mean, they're a top 15, 20 team for a reason. And, you know, we put out a team with a guy that didn't, with a team that didn't play a minute for the old coach. So it's a fresh team. It's a brand new team, and we're in a learning stage of it. But make no mistake about it, we got manhandled, and thank God it was only 40 minutes instead of a 60-minute football game.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the first 10 minutes? Because for the first portion of that first half, it looked like you guys were still within striking distance, and then kind of when you lost control of that.
Yeah, well, you know, when you don't make baskets, you don't look good. And they, you know, made a lot of shots. And you've got a freshman trying to guard them, and you know, this is a rebuilding process for us. And I think one day we'll be able to get to a point where we'll like this program here. You know, you just continue to not have to rebuild. You just have good team after good team after good team. You know, that said, you know, I'd like to play them again in a couple months, and I know we'd do a much better showing of it. But you're right, we started out and stayed with them, and I think when you're missing and they're making, it's tough to keep, particularly with young guys. We tend to disappear, and you know, face it, we played a veteran team. Stockton's been here for how many years? 4 or 5. You know, they've been here for a long time, and we don't have a returning guy that started, so it makes sense to me. Last time we played this team, we beat them by, you'd have to look at the books, but it was in the high 40s. And the year before, we lost to them in the high 40s. So, you know, I don't mean to ramble, but we can turn this thing around. And we do it this year. I think we just ran into a really well-coached team, a very physical team, and a team that I think is better than the additional round.
Can you talk a little bit about the atmosphere of playing in an arena like this?
You know, it was good. I mean, I've coached some of the top 5 venues in the country. I always say, I know what a home court. I've been there with a floor show, but you know, we have that in our league. At San Diego State, at New Mexico, now Utah State. But it bothered it wouldn't have bothered last year's team. It bothered these guys. And that, I think it's really cool about it. You know, it's all about the students, and I think it's really cool how you know, the older folks, younger than me, but older, feed off the students. I think it's terrific. I think it's neat. I think it's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. What do you try to focus on and take back to Fort Collins with you after this game?
We need to do not play Gonzaga back to back. That would help. We need to watch the film and understand why this happened. And it'll show that we just did not execute, and more importantly, we just got out physical. Big time. And that's kind of been the traits of our team, we've been more physical. But, you know, again, we have 8 new guys, eight guys that didn't play a minute for 10 miles. So it's kind of a, you know, it's I'm not blaming 10 miles. I'm just saying that that shows you the quick turnover that we've had. After 1 year, we don't have anybody that played a minute for the old coach. So that's what we're dealing with. And this, and who we played and where we played them.